Hello, hello, hello. It is Valencia. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? Okay, so I'm here with a message. Spirit has prompted me today to talk about spiritual attacks. How to identify if you are being spiritually attacked. And also how to identify if your children are being spiritually attacked. So I hope you guys are having a good afternoon. All right, so Spirit is saying that this is a big warning because a lot of people are being spiritually attacked and they kind of know something is wrong, but they're not sure, what's happening, but they just know that something is off and they don't know how to identify with that. And Spirit wants me to help you today with identifying some signs that you are under spiritual attack. And 9 times out of 10, you are in your awakening phase. You could be in your initial stage. You could be somewhere in the middle. You could be towards the end. And a certain aspect of you is waking up. The other reason why you might be under spiritual attack, you could be connected to a narcissist, which could be, a spouse. It could be a lover. It could be a friend. It could be a family member. It could be someone that you just kind of met and, they have unconsciously connected themselves to you in an unhealthy way. And so as such, they send negative energy towards you. Another reason why you might be under spiritual attack is because just the calling on your life, your gift. A lot of lower vibrational and energetic frequencies, demonic being forces and entities, they see you. You may not have learned how to protect yourself, how to heal yourself, or acknowledge the gift that you have on you. And so they see that as an opportunity to attack and try to jump your spirit so that they can take your power. And once they take your power, they can use your power, your energy, your gifts, your talents for, any way that they may. Whereas you, if you had the acknowledgement of it, you would be using it for your highest good. So some signs that you are under spiritual attack. One sign could be that as you're going to sleep, you're constantly hearing like doors slamming or banging on the wall, or you're hearing trunk door slamming. And it doesn't matter where you go, where you are in your house, or where you are sleeping, you're always hearing like noise where it's like a constant slamming of doors, or a constant slamming of trunks, or you're hearing banging. It doesn't matter where you are. When it's time for you to go to bed, you're always hearing some type of noise and banging. Now, sometimes these could be your spirit guides, your ancestors, and your ascended masters. But typically, if they're doing that, they're not going to do it every night when it's time for you to go to bed. And typically, they're going to do it at a certain time to try to get your attention, because it's something that they want to get relayed to you either before you go to sleep, or for you to get on their mind so that they can so that you can process the information that they want to give to you when it's time for you to go to sleep. In the same sense, the demonic spirits, the lower vibrational frequencies and the energetic frequencies, their attempt is the same thing. But their mission is to interrupt your sleep and to interrupt your peace so that you can't sleep. And it's very known that in order for misery, because misery loves company. So in order for misery to even get a little bit of sleep or a little bit of peace or a little bit of rest, they have to interrupt someone else's sleep. So that would be why you're being interrupted in your sleep, if it's not your spirit guides. And again, this would kind of be like a nightly thing. You could also be sleeping and then be consistently woken up out of your sleep as well. If you're experiencing nightmares or night terrors on a consistent basis, or kind of just feeling like you're having a hard time breathing or sleeping, these are also spiritual attacks. And the attempt again is to create an uneasiness in you for you not to be able to sleep. Another way to identify if you're under spiritual attack is if you have your AC or heating unit on. And while you're going to sleep, or in the process of while you're sleeping, because electronics can be used as well, it's all energy. If the AC system is like pushing air out extremely hard, like there's a strong force behind it, typically there is some type of spirit, being, force, or entity that is trying to make its way into your environment through the ventilation system. And it's trying to attach itself to you and kind of hover over you, or put the sleep paralysis on you, which is another demonic spirit that is trying to pretty much suck the life out of you, or suck the energy out of you, to cause you to feel kind of paralyzed. And this actually happens a lot to babies. So if you want to identify if your baby is under spiritual attack, and you're noticing that the baby maybe sometimes is having a hard time sleeping at night, or it seems like they're not like really breathing, this could be a demonic spirit that is trying to attack your baby. And again, this is spiritual warfare. Sometimes, the babies do sleep very peacefully and restfully, but the sleeping on the back, it grants them the demonic spirit or the entity a little bit more freedom to kind of like jump on top of the baby. So typically sleeping on the sides kind of help with that as well. Another way to identify if you're under spiritual attack is if you're consistently having accidents. And you're not typically a person that's accident prone, but you somehow you're falling, you're breaking things. People are running into you. So this could be physically, like with your car and things like that, or like you're in the grocery store or you're in a restaurant and people are just like running into you, and you're like, dang, it just seems like, all this like negative force is just like coming at me. And it is. It's because there's a negative spirit that is connected to you, which is drawing all of this negative attention towards you. Another sign of spiritual attack is paranoia, right? So it seems like anywhere you go, whatever you're doing, no matter where you go, it always just seems like somebody is there or somebody is watching. Like you can't just happen to be driving down the street by yourself, or you can't just happen to be just getting out your car and walking into your house where you are, but it's always someone there, and it's always looking like somebody is watching. Even though somebody is always watching, there's no doubt about that, but there's like an obviousness of it, because that energy wants you to know that they can see you and that they're watching you. Another sign that you are under spiritual attack is if you are not someone that typically sleeps a lot, but now all of a sudden you're extremely lethargic. And I'm not just talking about being sleepy because you're tired. I mean like you are like overtly overly tired. You went to bed at 8 o'clock and you're still waking up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, or you went to bed at 11 o'clock and you got your rest in like you normally do, 8 hours, and you're still tired. And that's because you're wrestling with these spiritual forces in your sleep. You're wrestling with these spiritual forces to get to sleep. You're wrestling with these spiritual forces in your sleep, and then you're wrestling with these spiritual forces waking up from out of your sleep. Another sign that you are being spiritually attacked is seeing shapes and colors of your eye change. Now this is a hard one to see. You really have to have the ability to read energy and be able to tap into that gift. But typically when there is a demonic spiritual attack on you, there will be a change in the eye color. There'll be a change in the color of the eye and the shape of the eye. And these are very subtle changes. So it would take someone that's being alert and aware. And oftentimes you hear this about people who talk about their spouses that may sometimes have spiritual attacks, like if things start to go bad and they're saying like, oh my spouse, they completely turned into a different person, and you can like look at them and their eyes have changed. It's very subtle, and most people don't see that, especially if they're not spending a lot of time with a person. Another form of, and I keep looking down because I'm standing up, and I'm looking down at my feet. And my baby's right here too. So I'm watching her to make sure that she's all right too. But another sign that you are under spiritual attack is like your appliances start breaking down, or your devices. So your car might start experiencing issues. Your refrigerator, or your microwave, your dishwasher, your washer or dryer, all these things start breaking down. Another thing too is they'll start to make a lot of loud noises. And that is your confirmation, not like the regular noise of like it's making ice, or like it's regenerating, but it's like making a lot of noise. And usually it's like popping noises or knocking noises. That is a sign to let you know that there is some type of lower vibrational frequency or entity or spirit that has entered your presence and is trying to attach itself to you in any way that it knows how. Another way to identify if you're under spiritual attack, when a spirit is making its way through your living environment, or even in your car, you'll start to hear like little like noises, and it does sound like little poppings. So like you'll hear it hit the wall, you'll maybe hear it hit the ceiling, and that's its way trying to find its way to you in your environment. Another form of spiritual attack, to let you know if you're under spiritual attack, is you may start hearing certain phrases. And it's the same phrase no matter where you go. And that is that spirit's way of letting you know again, hey, I see you. Hey, you're under attack. Some common ones that I have, become aware of, that I've noticed, is the statement, have a good one, or be safe. Now, these sound like very positive statements, right? Hey, have a good one, or hey, be safe. But the intention behind these statements is to send a demonic, lower vibrational frequency to you, which starts to attract negative energy to you. And so right after these individuals have made that statement to you, all of a sudden, no matter where you are, you're going to start to feel like negative energy coming towards you, and then you're going to start to experience negative energy as a result of that. And then the people that you start to interact with, they will start making these same statements. So let's say you go to Chick-fil-A, and we all know when you go to Chick-fil-A, the statement is my pleasure. And so instead of saying my pleasure, they're going to say have a good one. Or you go to McDonald's and they'll say, thank you, have a great day, or whatever, or thank you for choosing McDonald's. And instead of saying, thank you for choosing McDonald's, they're saying, be safe. These are demonic attacks. These are spiritual attacks. And this is a form of using word spells to speak negativity over you and to have negative forces coming at you. Another way of knowing that you're under spiritual attack is just having someone speaking negativity towards you. So if you say anything positive, or you say anything that is of higher vibrational frequencies, like, I'm going to be the first millionaire, billionaire in my family, and they're like, ain't nobody in your family ever been no millionaire or no billionaire. You is not going to be a billionaire. Look where you living at. Look what you've been through. Look what you're doing. These are word spells. And these are meant to speak negativity over you. And to kind of rewrite the positivity that you have going on. Another sign, and I'll leave it at this one. Another sign that you're under spiritual attack is psychic mind reading attacks. And psychic mind reading attacks are usually a result of you awakening. And you're in your initial stage, your awakening stage, you're in the middle stage, you're at the end stage, it doesn't matter. What happens is your body is more vulnerable than normal to all type of being forces and entities, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And as a result, these lower vibrational frequencies, they see that you are awakened, and they understand that you are vulnerable because you have tears and leaks in your foundation, in your energy field, in your vibrational frequencies, in your aura, where these things are normally strong. They see that there is a leak or a tear there, and so they know that they can filtrate through this area of you. And so these psychic mind reading attacks happen as a result. And what this does is, it can sound something like this. Let's say yesterday I went to the movies. I brought 2 tickets, and I went to movies and I sat by myself. A psychic mind reading attack is meant to, happen in plain sight. So that means that you're not supposed to know that this person is reading you, but they are reading you. And so example of this could be like, girl, I think I want to go to the movies tomorrow and just go in there and sit right by myself and, get me 2 tickets and sit right in there by myself. Now, it doesn't seem weird, right? That someone says that they want to go to the movies, they want to buy 2 tickets, and they want to sit by themselves. But what is odd is that it's exactly the same exact thing that I did yesterday. And what happens is the more that this demonic spirit is able to actively, it's a game. So the more that this demonic spirit or lower vibrational frequency can accurately read what you did, because they're using their psychic abilities, but they're using their psychic abilities for lower vibrational things. The more accurately they are able to read you through this psychic mind reading attack, the more easily they are able to get blessings. But it's not blessings because it's coming from a lower vibrational frequency, and we know that darkness and devil and whatever you want to call it doesn't give blessings. Only God gives blessings. So the more they're able to read you and do all these things, the more they're able to receive some type of gift or some type of blessing or some type of goods. But also, the psychic mind reading attack can also be used to program you and put you under a spell or under a trance. So the more that they can connect and get your mind to say, hey, that sounds familiar, the more that your brain kind of shuts down and it opens up, and it allows you to be more vulnerable, which then allows whatever this energy that they're carrying to kind of transcend onto you. And that is the game. They want to get this negative energy off of themselves and to put it on someone else so that they don't have to carry it. And then also, as a result of the entity that they're serving, that's what they have to do daily. And it's like they got a quota, like they got to get 20, they got to read 20 people through psychic mind reading. They got to put 5 spirits on somebody of this. They got to attack 3 babies, whatever. It just depends on, whatever the spirit is that they're responding to. So when people say, it just feels like somebody is just, going out of their way to hurt me or cause me harm or to interrupt my day or to make me mad. And people say, people will make the statement, no one is intentionally going out their way to cause you harm. No one is intentionally trying to disrupt your day. That's an absolute lie. There are people whose life depends on them interrupting other people's lives. There are people's whole being in their way of life is to cause somebody else harm, to cause somebody else pain, to cause someone else's confusion, so that they can just a little bit be able to have some happiness or be able to a little bit have some peace or acknowledgement. And I did want to say one other thing. Another way to identify that you're under spiritual attack is if you're starting something and you start to hear noise, or you're about to finish something and you start to hear noise. That is the spirit's way of letting you know that they acknowledge something. So you may go ahead and go outside and go outside and start smoking a cigarette. There's a spirit that's going to pop up. And then as soon as you finish that cigarette, a spirit is going to pop up again. Now, the spirit can pop up as a form of a person. It can pop up as a form of a car. It can pop up as a form of like an animal. It just depends on what entity is being used at that time. So remember, guys, this is energy and this is spiritual warfare. And spirits and energy can be transmuted through anything. So again, these are just some signs to kind of acknowledge you and let you know, if you're trying to figure out like what's going on and you can't understand or you're not sure, these are just some signs to help you identify with what spiritual attacks look like, because we all know that this is spiritual warfare. And one last thing, another sign that you are under spiritual attack or even demonic possession is you may start to have a squeezing in the lower of your stomach, and that's letting you know that something is pulling from your energetic field. unbalanced, because we share energy back and forth automatically. But if you start to feel like a pulling, like a nauseousness or like a heaviness, that is a sign that something spiritually is pulling from you, and it's not pulling from you for your greatest good. And then also having migraines and headaches consistently, that's also another form of psychic attacks. And it's because they're digging in, trying to read what your next step is or what your next move is, so that they can attack. They can make their move. They can connect to you in whatever way that is. So I hope you guys found some helpful information out of this as it relates to spiritual attacks and kind of what that looks like. And then maybe I'll be able to do a video next on how to combat yourself, how to protect yourself from what these things look like. And then even more specifically, like if you guys start to like leave comments and stuff of what's happening to you, I can kind of give you a better idea of what is happening in your situation, and how you can protect yourself a whole lot better from what's happening. So again, guys, I am Valencia, and I allow my voice to echo in the earth realm. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye.